Lawyers representing the former Gauteng Health MEC, Mahlangu, trying to poke holes into Dr. Mkhatshwa's statement suggesting that the national policy to reduce the number of beds was taken by the then Minister of Health and not by the then MEC Mahlangu.
Do you agree that this was a decision taken by, as you called him there, the Minister of Health at the time, the Honourable Dr. Aaron Matsoaledi?
The strategic plan 2013-2020 was a strategic plan that was given by the Department of Health, Gauteng Department of Health. But yes, there is a national framework, a mental health framework, that document that was published by the National Department of Health.
The point that I'm making, Doctor, is that this was a national policy. It was binding throughout the country, taken by the then Minister of Health. Do you agree?
I agree.
And that the strategy was given the thumbs up before Mahlangu became MEC.
I want to put to you, Doctor, for your comment, is that the Gauteng mental health strategy had been approved before my client, Ms. Mahlangu, became the MEC. And the date that she became the MEC for health was in May 2014, at which stage this had already been approved. Do you have any comment?
I wouldn't know the details of operations within the department.
Fair enough.
Mahlangu's lawyers also slammed Mkhatshwa for not being present when all the patients were being moved to ensure that they had their clothes and medication.
I sporadically went on the days that when my diary agreed, and I would just to oversee and make sure that the process happens.
Your sporadic visits can't account for each and every MHCU. Do you agree with me?
Truly, I have responsible officials, just like the MEC has officials under her.
Because I want to put to you that there are numerous statements that we have who dispute that there was a proper handover and that people arrived in good condition and with good clothing and with all the identity documents, etc.
I cannot comment on what happens to, be it medication records, be it clothing, what happens once the mental health care user has been handed over to the officials of the Department of Health. Therefore, once that process has happened, it's totally out of my hands. I cannot comment on that.
But would not say if the former MEC should be held liable for the deaths.
What I want to put to you, Doctor, is that my client, Ms. Mahlangu, was not personally responsible for any of these deaths. Do you have any comment?
As indicated, I cannot, everybody, we all are going to die at some stage, and it depends on the surrounding circumstances. So I wasn't there at the NGOs. I cannot be able then to put a finger or point a finger at Ms. Mahlangu and say she caused the death.
And where the Gauteng Premier David Makura should be.
She says she acted on the advice of the medical specialists and doctors who were involved, and that the decision had been taken by the Gauteng Premier. It wasn't her decision to implement this process. Do you have any comment?
I cannot comment on that because I wasn't part of the meetings that informed her to take the decision. So I have no idea what the specialist said to her. And yeah.
Cross-examination continues. Criselda Lewis, SABC News in Johannesburg.